Let's go.
Shocking speech, Mr. Speaker. Absolute shocker. And par for the course from an ill-informed National Party who sadly are being led around by the one and only David Seymour over there, who's taking all their votes at the moment, Mr. Speaker. As you can see, the puppet master is leading them. Now, in terms of this employment relations pay deduction for partial strikes amendment bill, just for Mr. Seymour, I wanted to quote that bill for him, Mr. Speaker, because we had a hikoi the other day. Mr. Seymour he'll recall it. He was bravely standing 3 kilometres from the hikoi with all his police escorts around him, but it was the very brave and courageous David Seymour was there, and he was looking out at the hikoi. Why I'm mentioning the hikoi, Mr. Speaker, is because thousands of workers were participating on that hikoi. Thousands. So that's why this is so relevant. It wasn't just about Māori, Mr. Speaker. It was about New Zealanders participating and protesting against Mr. Seymour and his useless, rotten ACT party and a national party that has walked away from their principles and what they stand for. This is yet, as Camilla Ballard said, yet another attack, shocking attack on workers' rights. Oh, you're not going to complain about me calling you part.
Sit down, please, the Honourable David Seymour. Point of order.
I shouldn't need to do this, but I wonder if you might draw the members' attention to the standing orders I referred to earlier, particularly 112 about relevance to the bill.
I wonder if the member considers when he stands on his feet to do this whether he actually might be buying another minute or so for the person who's speaking, but I'll let him consider that. Carry on. As I'll point out, that is a job for the Speaker. Carry on, Mr. Jackson, but please don't take that as an invitation.
Oh, no, that's all right, Mr. Speaker, that's all right. But I do have to make it clear to Mr. Seymour that on that hikoi, 60,000 plus, so many workers were protesting against his dirty, rotten ACT party and this coalition, Mr. Speaker. And it's important that we make the point today that workers are sick of it. This is a day where nurses are walking out, Mr. Speaker. They're walking out. This is a cynical move by the government. They're amending our work from 2018, and it weakens workers' ability to ask for better conditions and pay. That's just the reality. And it's part of this wider government's strategy in terms of rolling back workers' rights, including getting rid of fair pay agreements, 90-day trials. It just continues and continues. And Mr. Speaker, you have to ask what is driving this coalition government in terms of their agenda. It's very upsetting for us when we think about workers, Mr. Speaker, who could get docked or penalised for nonsensical things. And it's already been mentioned by Camilla Ballard, wearing a T-shirt, losing their wages. They could have, going by this particular agreement, if they went on the hikoi, they would have been, they'd be in their own time. But Mr. Seymour and this absolutely relevant, because so many of those workers hate you, and absolutely relevant that I put on the table that thousands of people are not just protesting against the breach of Māori and treaty rights, they're standing up for their rights, for their workers' rights. And as Camilla Ballard said, this doesn't stack up. Doesn't stack up on RIS, doesn't stack up in terms of what the CTU is saying. And in fact, we had the President, Rachel McIntosh, calling on political parties to vote down this terrible piece of legislation. She said it will undermine, Mr. Speaker, the ability of workers to engage in industrial action and may even lead to workers losing pay for simply doing their job. So what I'm saying here is on the job they can lose money, Mr. Speaker. They can be docked for wearing a T-shirt. They can be docked for anything, all in the name of productivity, as the brilliant member from Whanganui talks about. And I'm actually talking about Tariana Turia. So certainly not that member over there, but they can be docked for nonsensical things, all in the name of productivity. What is that? What is that? We know what it is, but the other side have a different view in terms of how productivity works. Market flexibility is not the be-all and end-all in terms of workers' rights in this country. So I say today, on behalf of Labour, we are disgusted by this bill that Mr. Seymour and his team are putting up. It's yet another attack on workers' rights. It's another attack on basic rights that every worker in this country should be entitled to. And we just ask the question, when is this going to stop, Mr. Seymour?
Very good. The time has come to leave.
Right, so that was more just of a classic roast. He didn't really speak much to the bill, but to be honest, I think we've beaten this bill like a dead horse. Like Willie's just venting here.
Yeah.
And I support that. Yeah.